Hey everyone, happy December. It has been a little bit of time since I made a video. I think like 2 or 3 months. Before I get started, let me do my little intro for those of you that are watching for the first time. My name is Kavana. I am a neonatal ICU nurse in Southern California. I graduated with my master's in nursing earlier this year, and I am currently in school to become a family nurse practitioner. And I am documenting the journey with these videos. So, as you can tell by the title, fall semester is over. I made it. Barely. I made it. What's been going on? Let's see. I put some updates in my phone. I got in a car accident. It was like a 7-car accident. My car was totaled. I had to get a new car. I started dating someone. And I also stopped dating that someone. I went on vacation to Africa. I quit my job and I moved. I think you can see my background looks a little different. And none of that stuff has to do with NP school. I'm just saying that to say that life happened while I am trying to still be a full-time student. So now we can get into fall semester. So this semester I had 4 classes: Advanced Pathophysiology, Clinical Applications 1, Primary Care 1, and Advanced Physical Assessment. I think in my last video I already talked about the physical assessment class when we spent the weekend going over this entire book. This class was pretty much 3 parts. Learn this entire book, take a 100-question test on it. The second part is we did a mock physical on a patient. Our school hired like models to come in and be fake patients for us, and we went into the room, like did our whole physical exam, and there's a teacher in the room grading you. I wanted to record it, but at the last minute I got nervous, and then I was also thinking, what if I mess this up and I fail? I don't want to record that and watch it back. But I passed. I only missed one area, and the teacher prompted me, and then I remembered it. What else? The third component, we do something called shadow health. For those of you that are in nursing school, you may have seen it before. For those of you that aren't, it's an online system where you have a fake patient and you type questions to her and she responds back, and she comes in for different healthcare issues. So she has like respiratory issues, cardiac issues, a skin issue one time. She has a muscle issue one time, different things. And then you're supposed to be able to like practice on her. Like, oh, you touch her and you practice your physical exam on her. Personally, I didn't like it. I am the type of person that is a hands-on learner. I learn with real patients, so I know that I'll learn in the clinical setting. But with shadow health, for me, it was just do the assignment because I'm getting a grade on it. That was that class. Next 2 classes I'll group together: patho and primary care. Since the program is mostly online, the classes were pretty much discussion boards where our professors would present a patient scenario, and then we have to go in detail and break down the scenario. So we are explaining what type of testing we would do for the patient, what we think the patient has, what type of medication, who would we involve, how would we educate the patient, everything like that. I think in patho we had one, you have a male that comes in with a bee sting and he's having an anaphylactic reaction. So I now know more about bee stings than I ever wanted to know. One other thing, in primary care, we practiced SOAP notes. So SOAP notes is a way that providers write out documentation on patients. And so they would just give us a scenario and we would practice writing out, a page-long SOAP note and get feedback on that. My last class, and the one that gave me a run for my money, was the clinical applications class. We also had discussion boards in there, but one assignment in particular that we did weekly was called differential diagnosis. So each week we are given about a sentence or 2 about a patient, and we have to come up with 6 to 8 diagnoses for this patient. An example for one, you have a mother that brings in her 4-year-old daughter. She has ear pain and her nose has been running for a week. Come up with 8 things that are wrong with her. And you're like, 8? Okay, she has a cold or she has an ear infection. Another one was, you had a man that came back from a long plane ride. He has swelling in his left calf. he has a blood clot. Like, what could 7 other things be? Another one I remember, you have a woman in her 20s who's not pregnant who comes in with burning with urination. She has a UTI. What are 7 or 6 other things? But that was the assignment that got me thinking, that got me researching, that had me like, wait, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything. And it also made me anxious because it made me feel like I'm going to be a provider. What if I miss one of the possible things it could be and I say that it's something else? So I kind of had to slow down and stop thinking the worst and realize that I'm only in my first semester. I'm going to get this. Hopefully, no. I'm going to get this as I keep researching, as I keep encountering situations, as they keep throwing these different situations at us. It will come. Those were the 4 classes. Grades are in. The semester's over. I got 2 A's and 2 B's. One of the B's, I was like 1.5 points away from being an A, and I know the exact assignment where I missed it. So I'm kind of upset about it, but it was a stressful semester, so I'm not even going to trip. I am going for all A's next semester, though. Other than that, I think it's a balancing act. I thought coming from my master's program, okay, I got this. Like, I know how to work. I know how to go to school. Still a balancing act, trying to, have a social life, work full time, travel, do everything. It's hard. Also having personal time. I am a firm believer in you need a moment in your week to say, okay, nothing. I'm not doing any work. I'm not a nurse right now. I'm not, accommodating anybody else right now. A moment for me. And it was hard with all the homework I had, all the assignments, all the reading, all the research. There's always something to do. Another thing is going from registered nurse to nurse practitioner is a big transition, because as a registered nurse, I'm given a plan of care. A provider tells me pretty much, this is what the patient has. This is what we're going to do to treat it. As a nurse, I implement the plan of care and I assess, is it effective? Is it not? What changes are happening? But as a nurse practitioner, I'm expected to come up with that plan of care. And it just makes me think, what if I miss something? So it really is about doing your research, questioning things. If it's not this, what could it be? Looking at multiple research sites, not always just trusting one source. Looking at what your classmates are writing, seeing what they're finding, or how they interpret a situation differently than you do. It was definitely an interesting semester. I'm excited for next semester. I said it with a grain of salt because I know it's going to be pretty busy. I'm starting clinicals next semester. I think in my first video, I talked about clinicals. So I talked about clinicals in my first video. I know I said I have to see at least 800 patients and do at least 675 clinical hours. I will be starting my clinicals in January. Latice, if you're watching this video, thank you so much. She is an old coworker and she connected me with a doctor at a very well-known healthcare organization here in California. And he is going to be my first preceptor in family practice. So I'm excited about that. I am nervous and also trying to figure out how I'm going to fit everything in. My school let me know that I need to complete 500 hours by May 14th if I want to be on the graduation list for this year. And if not, I'm going to have to extend to the 2-year program, which wasn't my plan. So I'm kind of at a crossroads right now because I am going to be working nights. And then with clinical, somebody's texting me. Cynthia, if you're watching this video, you're texting me right now. But like I was saying, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to fit in everything. Clinical and work and still trying to, live the fabulous life of Kavana. Or I can go to the 2 years and give myself some sanity, allow me to break up my hours. But then that's an entire extra year of school. Haven't decided yet. But that's all I got for now. School starts again the first week of January. I'll be on campus, I believe the first weekend in February, so I'll try to record there. I'll probably try to get some of my classmates to come on video, give their tidbits or how they've been feeling so far in the program. Who is this? Somebody else texting me, sorry. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what information you want. I'm just out here trying to make it That's all I got so far. Happy holidays, and make sure you subscribe.